Our goal is to get 100 new donors. Please consider donating. No donation is too small. Learn more at klekfm.org. This portion of KLEK programming can be made possible by your business. Your support will help in educating, entertaining, and empowering the community by supporting local talent, serving the community you love, and providing information on issues you care about from a different perspective. Call 870-203-9951 or visit klekfm.org to learn how we can help connect you more with the community. Calling all women and minority business owners as well as the general public. KLEK 102.5 FM presents the Women and Minority Business Showcase at Centennial Hall in the Arkansas State University Student Union. Live broadcast on KLEK and on Facebook. This is your opportunity to show what your business, church, or organization has to offer to the unique, diverse audience of KLEK listeners, supporters, and the Jonesboro community as a whole, or to just check out all the vendors in attendance. Register at klekfm.org. Free admission to attend. The KLEK Women and Minority Business Showcase is sponsored by the Arkansas State University Office of Diversity and Community Engagement. This event is a KLEK fundraiser.
The KLEK 2020 Women and Minority Business Showcase, Saturday, February 22nd, from 10 o'clock a.m. until 4 o'clock p.m. Registration and other information is on our website, www.klekfm.org.
6th Annual Black History Quiz Bowl, hosted by Black Professionals Network of Jonesboro, Saturday, February 22nd, 12 p.m. at ASU Auditorium in the Student Union. 3 divisions, elementary, juniors, and seniors. Admission is a donation of school supplies. Friends and family donations will also be accepted. Details at Black Professionals Network JB@gmail.com or Facebook Black Professionals Network of Jonesboro. Black Professionals Network is a non-profit organization. All funds go toward BPN scholarships.
It's 10:04.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLEK for part 2 from today. And joining us in the studio now is Mayor John Milligan. He is the mayor of Lake City, Arkansas, and he is running for Arkansas House of Representatives District 53 on the Republican ballot. And of course, as always, KLEK and the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, we do not endorse, support, nor oppose any candidate for office, nor was any compensation provided for this interview. This interview is provided for informational purposes only. But with that being said, we definitely encourage you to vote, because early voting is going on right now, including in your very own city at the Lake City Courthouse and also at the Craighead County Election Annex on Jefferson Street in Jonesboro. So can we call you John?
Yes, sir. Yes,
all right,
sir.
So,
good to be here today.
All right, so how you doing today?
Doing good.
All right, so as always, we'll start off with tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Well, John Milligan is my name. I'm lived in Lake City all my life. I'm 50 years old. Have a wife, Sarah, works here in Jonesboro. She is an OT, occupational therapist, been married 29 and a half years. We have a daughter, Hattie, that's 20, goes to Lyon College. I've got a son, John Marshall, 21, that goes to ASU, and I've got a daughter, 23, that goes to UMS Medical School. So I tell people the only thing in my billfold is my driver's license.
Okay.
Yeah. They take all your money.
They take it all. But I'm blessed. I go to church there at Refuge Union Baptist Church. I've been a deacon there since 2007.
Oh,
and been mayor. This is starting my 10th year as mayor. I've lived there, had a small business, lived there all my life. So, just care about the community and love my job being mayor, and got a bunch of fine folks that I work with on the council and the city guys and my citizens. Got a bunch of very good people that makes my job easy.
All right, so the next question is a two-part question. The first part is, what made you decide to run for state representative? And then part 2 is, what makes you stand out from your two opponents? What separates you from them?
Yeah, well, back in when Mr. Sullivan decided he was going to run for against Mr. Cooper for the senator's seat, I had some people call me and come to me and ask me about running, and I told them, I said, well, let me pray about it for a few months and we'll see. And I talked to my wife and my kids and my mom, and lost my dad a year and a half ago. Wished he was here for me to talk to him about it, but he's not. But prayed about it, and would just like the opportunity to be able to, there in Lake City, like I just said, I have fine people. Well, District 53 is full of the same kind of folks, and I just like the opportunity to be able to work with them. And I think my experience as mayor and dealing with taxpayers' money and dealing with them type of situations, that's what makes me stand out, should make me stand out, hopefully, but the job that I've been able to do there above my two opponents. I've dealt with the public and tried to work with them and help them, and I've got almost 2,000 contacts in my phone, and if you call me and I miss you, I'll call you back. You got to communicate with the people. You got to communicate with your citizens. And
That's a lot of contacts.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And one time I lost a bunch of them. That wasn't good.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
But,
you got to make sure you have that cloud backup.
Yeah, well, I do now. My oldest daughter fixed that for me here not too long ago.
All right. And we got a couple Facebook shouts already. Shout out to Scott Wilhite and Derek Coleman. Appreciate you all for checking in on our Facebook Live feed. And, of course, we have a question for John. You can give us a call at 870-277-1080. And Senator Cooper just joined in. Appreciate you for checking in, Senator Cooper. Shout out, by the way, to Senator Cooper and his big, giant LED electronic sign at the annex. And of course, this is not an endorsement of Senator Cooper, but it's just something that you just got to see. Yeah. All right, but this is not about him. This is about Mayor John Milligan. So let's go ahead and get right into the issues. So let's start off with issue 1. And of course, for those who are not familiar with issue 1 is about the current tax that helps to fund the highways. It's scheduled to sunset. However, if the voters approve it, then the tax will become permanent. So what are your views on issue 1?
Well, as a mayor in 2013, I think June 2013, when we started receiving that money, that really stepped up our game on the street department and our turnback money on what we could do and help the citizens. And I, as a mayor, I do support that issue 1. And the reason I support that, we have been able to do so much more with our updating our equipment. New backhoe, new track hoe, and we had some pretty old equipment. We're fixing to purchase a new tractor, and we are very fortunate in Lake City to have a 1-cent sales tax passed in 2008, I believe, and half of that goes to water and sewer, and half goes to streets. It's designated. Okay. But if we, it's projected. I was in a meeting last week. It's projected if we lose that half-cent sales tax, we'll lose $47,000 to $48,000 a year there at City of Lake City, and you take that out of that, what goes in the general, what goes in, you take that out, and it's really going to limit us, really going to hurt us. And and small cities don't have the big reserve, and there's no law saying that you hoard up taxpayers' money. You got to spend it and use it wisely. Mm-hmm. And the half-cent that we've received, I really believe, we have used it wisely, as all small towns in Jonesboro and the county. But I know it'll be devastating to Jonesboro too. I think it's $1.5 million they'd lose a year, and the county's almost $1 million from the report I've seen. But I do support it, and that's why I do support it, because we do spend it correctly and spend it wisely, and try not to waste a penny of it. All
right. So, what are your thoughts on just taxes in general? In fact, and of course, a couple tax issues that have come up, such as the internet sales tax and the gas tax. I know people. I don't think anyone's just going to voluntarily sign up for taxes, but also, how do you balance having the right amount of taxation to cover essential services and not overtaxing? Or are you one of those that just believe that we just shouldn't have taxes at all? What are your thoughts on taxes?
Well, if you want nice stuff, you have to pay for it. And I have to pay the half-cent too. It's not like I have to. If we raise our water bill, I have to pay it. Whatever we do, I have to pay it also. That's why we're we got some of the cheapest rates around. But no, and I'm not a big tax guy. Like, if I am representative to go to Little Rock, I'm not for any more taxes. I think there needs to be they need to do tax reform, or they need to look at their budget, and not saying that there is, but if there's any kind of waste at all, clean that waste up and redirect that money, and instead of looking at another tax all the time, redirect the money that you have. But we have to do that. If issue 1 does not pass, we'll be okay. We can redirect our money. We can scale back on a few things, and we'll make it. We'll survive. That we was doing it before. But no, but like I said, if you want the nice things, you have to pay for it. But I'm not a won't go to Little Rock and tax. I'm not a tax guy, but issue one is important.
All right, so next thing I want to talk about something that obviously, especially in the Republican primary, that's gotten a lot of attention is stand your ground and red flag laws. So what are your thoughts on those?
I am, of course, for Second Amendment, 100%. I'm not a red flag law guy. The concern with me there is if you let the door get open a little bit on the Second Amendment, if in 10 years, 12 years, where it could be kicked wide open. That scares me because, Second Amendment is they should not infringe on your rights to bear arms.
And in regards to that, and I've asked other candidates this, when it says shall not be infringed, is that something that is absolute, meaning that any person, whether it's a kid, a felon, someone who is mentally incapable of thinking for themselves, when it says shall not be infringed, does that extend to anyone? And give you even another example to someone who is ultra rich like Jeff Bezos, if he wants to buy a nuclear bunker to protect Amazon, is that truly an absolute right, or where does the line get drawn on that?
Well, and of course we have laws saying what age you can buy a gun and what you can purchase a gun. But I guess if the Bezos guy has got the money to do that, and it's his money, and he thinks he needs that protection or purchase, I don't have a problem with him buying one. It's his. But like I said, the red flag laws, some of that does scare me on infringe. I told a guy, I said, well, if they can come up with one that don't infringe on that, show it to me, and we'll look at it and go from there. So, but I'm stand firm on the Second Amendment.
All right, we got a question from our live feed. Shanquetta Cunningham says, what would you say are your most notable accomplishments in your community?
Well, we was able a couple years ago, talking to a citizen, we I was talking a while ago about keeping prices down for my citizens. We started our own sanitation service. We created 2 jobs. We have our own truck. And our sanitation service is $11 a month to my citizens. And then I think it's the year before, maybe after, we had a $1.65 mosquito charge that was going into the water. We pulled that out, and now off that $1.65, made it its own entity. Off that $1.65, we have bought a truck. We hired a part-time man. We bought a $12,000 mosquito machine, $11,000 something mosquito machine, and we spray with an airplane 3 or 4 times a year as we need it.
All right.
And
go ahead. We just had another question.
Okay, and we've been able to redo our parks, our city parks. We've recently purchased the school property, old school property, 10.9 acres, 11.9 acres, and we're looking to develop a new community center and a fitness center and a water park there of some kind. We are working on that as we speak.
Okay, getting back to the live feed, Shanquetta Cunningham says even the most violent of criminals. I think that's going back to the Second Amendment shall not be infringed. So if someone committed a violent felony, has gotten out of jail, paid all of their fines, and they've done all they paid their debts to society, should they still not have that right to have a gun?
Well, if they went through the process and they paid their fines and they've done their time, I believe everybody deserves a second chance.
All right.
I know I've had several chances in my life on things. So.
All right. We'll speak with Mayor John Milligan, Republican candidate for Arkansas State Representative District 53. Polls are open. Today was the first day of early voting. I've already cast my vote. Make sure that you do the same. Polls going to be open all day. Is it 7 or 7:30 that they close? It's one of the two. But in fact,
I don't remember.
In fact, you just need to get there. Don't wait till last minute. Just get there. And of course, Lake City Courthouse in Mayor Milligan's own city will be one of the places which you can vote, and the other is the Craighead County Election Annex. So make sure that you vote. And of course, as a side note, again, we're not telling you who or what to vote for, but the Democrats for this race, District 53, as well as our other state representative and Senate races, are unopposed. So those people will go on to the general election. But if you want your voice to be heard, then you can consider voting in the Republican primary and choosing among the various candidates running in that primary. So getting on to our next issue, What are your thoughts on Governor Hutchinson's decision to allow refugees in Arkansas, and at the same time allowing for those illegal immigrants to get in-state tuition? Those are two other issues that have gotten a lot of attention in the Republican primary.
Yeah, and if you come into the country legally, the legal way, that's great. But when I seen the refugees going to Northwest Arkansas, I text Mayor Perrin and I said, "How many homeless do you have homeless in Jonesboro?" And he texted back, "Yes," and they was working on some stuff. I think they'd come out in the paper today. They was trying to help HUD, trying to do a few things. And my question to myself was, why can't that tax money for them? Why can't we help the homeless people here first? Take care of our own first. And then a couple of weeks ago in the Sunday paper, it seemed where the homeless had to move up under the bridge. And God made us all. God made us all people, and we love all people. But my question is, why can't we take care of our own people first, and then make sure they're taken care of, and then take care of the refugees?
Well, I think in the country as prosperous as the United States, there should be enough resources to take care of everyone that's in need.
And you're probably, just like I said a while ago, I think there needs to be the money redirected or looked at, and can you take money from here and take money from there? And I don't know, I've never seen the state's budget, and there probably is. I agree with you 100%. There probably is.
All right, so kind of moving on down, like I said, lots of topics that are going on. So a couple more that are kind of sort of tied together. Your thoughts on the Bible being taught as an elective in schools, and also displaying the motto of "In God We Trust."
Yeah, and I'm for that 100%. And I, one guy told me, he said, the question was asked, well, how's the Bible going to be taught? And, is it going to be taught as and I said, well, it's an elective class, but like you said, I said, but is it going to be taught as the Bible or just a history book? And, and you think about that, my thoughts are, well, that's okay. And I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I believe the Bible.
I think you mentioned earlier that you're a deacon, right?
Right. So, and so it needs to be in the class, and no matter how it's taught, if one kid gets the right gist from it, it's worth it to me. So I believe it needs to be. I mean, I would have voted for that to be in schools. Even
if it meant that other religious texts could also be taught in schools as historical books.
Yeah. That God's gonna win in the end. So yes, sir.
So you say you're not afraid of that discussion.
Yeah.
All right, Quabila, I think I've kind of quickly burned through a lot of the hot button issues in record time.
Well, I did want to ask, in preparation for starting this campaign, what are some ways you prepared yourself? Have you taken time to look through as many issues as possible, or bills or proposals on the state level, to see what you would need to, I guess, advocate for if you are elected for this position? What things you'll be facing on the state level.
Well, we have issue 1, and then we have the questions that he's asked that I've looked into. But honestly, I've just been out working and working on my race and trying to win the race and be successful. And then if I do that, then the rest of the year we're going to get with other legislators and focus on what's coming up, and lean on them and their understanding, and and try to move forward from there.
Have you had a chance to look at your opponents that are currently in those positions? Have you had a chance to look at some bills that they either supported, how they voted, bills they may have sponsored? And just see what's already happening, what's happened, and then again, once we move past this. Once we move past the primaries and we see where you stand, what you need to start handling or look into going forward.
Well, and I talked to Senator Cooper some, talked to Representative Sullivan quite a bit, and know their thoughts on some of the stuff, and hadn't really sat down and studied them. But just like the Bible class, he just didn't. I know one voted for it, one voted against it, and that's their prerogative. I mean, that's okay. But issues like that, but I will be leaning on them really hard. As a new representative, if the good Lord sees fit for me to win, I will be leaning on them guys really hard.
Okay, let's talk about education. We know that we've had this question come up a lot, and we've talked about it with several candidates. We just talked about it with another one from a different district. However, we know that we hear that Arkansas is on the low end when it comes to economic growth. It's considered one of the poorest states in the union. Then on the other side, we hear that there are a lot of more people working. The unemployment rates are low. However, a lot of those jobs are not sustainable, or the individuals are not able to sustain their lifestyle. They're still having to work a second job and or depend on state benefits just to make ends halfway meet. So we've had the discussion with other candidates about introducing or redeveloping the VOTEC classes to help the students become more either hireable or helping them transition into internships or making them, helping them overall, making them more employable.
Right. Yeah, we had a forum the other day talking about the education at Jonesboro administration office, and I said VOTEC, and he told me it was Career Tech now. So,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't know that. But there at Riverside, they take a busload of kids every day. BIC brings theirs over, and they get on our bus, and they take them out to Career Tech. And my little brother, who retired out of the Air Force, is a heat and air guy. He went to the VOTEC or Career Tech school after he got out and got his heat and air license. But because college is not for everybody. My 3 kids are there. I didn't go to college. My wife did.
Okay.
It's not for everybody. But yes, ma'am, that is all avenues of education is so important.
Okay.
The VOTEC's just as important. We need welders and plumbers and everything that the body shop people, everything that Career Tech offers. So. But and I told them my very first meeting in Little Rock, I said, there's four school districts there in District 53, and I said, if I come down here and there's an education bill that, you won't talk to me about passing, if my 4 superintendents telling me it's bad, I'm going to be a no. I'm going to lean on them because I know nothing about running the school. They do. I'm going to lean on them. And if you talk to the career people and they say, hey, we need to go this avenue and it's what's best for everybody, then I'm going to be their guy.
I'm glad you brought up the having a conversation and listening to your superintendents. I know how important it is for administrators, curriculum developers, designers of the curriculum to all work together and in conjunction with the teachers and parents as well to see what works for the students, what can be done, or how would you possibly try to advocate for education reform on the state level if you are elected. I know some things trickle down from the federal level, but the core curriculum and the way things stand, I don't feel personally as a parent that it has been as effective, and there's still students lagging behind.
Right. Well, I think that's where you need to go to your superintendents, principals, that you represent, and not only in District 53, but you represent all of North. As a representative, you represent all of Northeast Arkansas and all of Arkansas. But District 53, my home would be first.
Okay.
But you need to get with the superintendents of all the schools and then see what they're telling you, and then go to Little Rock with other representatives and tell them your thoughts and try to get people on the same page to better their education. Because one guy's not going to do it by himself, and you may have to have multiple meetings. You may have to have meetings up here with everybody. But I'd be open to that.
Okay.
All right, and we're going to leave it there. We're speaking with Mayor John Milligan, Republican candidate for Arkansas State Representative District 53. Don't forget, those polls are open right now. So get ready to go on that lunch break. Go ahead, go down there and cast your vote. I made my vote this morning. There was 20 people in line in front of me, but I was in and out in 10 minutes. There's lots of machines, lots of poll workers, smiling faces. They will get you in and get you out. We're going to take a break. Back with more. This is Community Conversations on KLEK.
You're listening to
102.5
Community
FM.
Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Calling all women and minority business owners as well as the general public. KLEK 102.5 FM presents the Women and Minority Business Showcase at Centennial Hall in the Arkansas State University Student Union. Live broadcast on KLEK and on Facebook. This is your opportunity to show what your business, church, or organization has to offer to the unique, diverse audience of KLEK listeners, supporters, and the Jonesboro community as a whole, or to just check out all the vendors in attendance. Register at klekfm.org. Free admission to attend. The KLEK Women and Minority Business Showcase is sponsored by the Arkansas State University Office of Diversity and Community Engagement. This event is a KLEK fundraiser.
The KLEK 2020 Women and Minority Business Showcase, Saturday, February 22nd, from 10 o'clock a.m. until 4 o'clock p.m. Registration and other information is on our website, www.klekfm.org.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
Your favorite radio station, playing today's R&B and old school.
KLEK 102.5 FM.
It's important for citizens to know how to operate voting machines or to mark the ballots they'll be using when they vote so that their votes will be counted. Now, why is that so important? Because every vote counts. An election might be decided by a single vote, and history would be changed because a person got or lost that one vote. Every vote counts. No vote, no voice. All votes matter.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And that's right, all votes matter. Can't stress that enough. Make sure that you get out to vote. Those polls are open right now. We are speaking with Mayor John Milligan. He is the current mayor of Lake City. He is also a Republican candidate for the Arkansas House of Representatives for District 53. And, of course, we are still taking your calls at 870-277-1080 and your questions and comments on our Facebook Live feed. Let's see. Jeff Wisham says, go Mayor Milligan.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into some of the other issues.
Okay.
As you've been talking with individuals in the district, what has been some of the, outside of flooding, what has been some of the other issues that have come up?
A lot of it is the education that you talked about. And of course, there's a lot of educators in this area, and a lot of it is that health, the insurance,
let's get into that.
Arkansas Works. And
yeah, we did not talk about Arkansas. How did I miss that?
I don't know.
Well, I was wondering, but I didn't.
Well, let's go ahead and get into. Well, finish with education, then let's go ahead and go into Arkansas Works.
She was talking, and a lot of it's the health insurance, and Arkansas Works, and I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and tell you we talked the other night, had a meeting at the Republican Party, and I told them, that I was for Arkansas Works, and then I learned that some of the people, their benefits have been cut, because of it. Well, then I talked to some more people, and I said, well, what if it is voted out? What happens to their benefits? Where will we go? Well, there's not a plan. So my thoughts as a representative is, until you have another plan, until you have something set up for the people to take care of them, it's got to stay in place. Okay. I'm not the representative. I'm not going to run anybody into a brick wall without, medical insurance. And I know it's got holes, and I know it needs to be amended. I know it's got problems. I understand every aspect of that. But without another plan, unless you can prove it to me on paper that they wouldn't just lose everything, or how we was going, need to show them how we're going to fix it before I vote against it.
Well, and I think that kind of ties into something that your opponent, Dr. Peck, said, that if these people, and of course he would know, him being a doctor,
right.
If these people don't have this coverage and they put off getting treatment, they're going to show up at the emergency room and it's going to cost more, and 9 times out of 10 they're probably not going to pay the bill because they can't afford it, and the hospital is going to be stuck eating the cost. So that cost is going to come either on the front end or on the back end. It's not going to go away.
And the representatives I've talked to last week, some of them I talked to in Little Rock, told me, said, well, then if that happens, then you're going to try to take the money out of the general fund to help the hospitals. Well, then there's no money there to do that, from what they told me. So, yeah, and until you have another plan that's in black and white and sure enough shows it's going to work, it needs to stay in place. And I'm open to another plan, like the education we talked about a while ago. If there's another plan and we can work on it and get it, where the people's going to be taken care of, because at the end of the day, being a mayor representative, it's about the people. Mm-hmm. It's about the people you serve and about your constituents and the people you got to take care of. That's number one. We're just public servants. We're public servants. We got to do what's best for them. And I believe getting rid of it before you had another plan would be a mistake. That's my thoughts.
Okay, so kind of getting back to your experience as mayor, you said that you feel like that was your best qualification for office. So what are some of the lessons that you have learned as mayor that you feel will help you if you are elected?
Well, and people, I know that there's two sides to every story, first thing I learned. And I know sometimes when people come to you, in every situation, you can't help everybody as bad as you want to. Sometimes you just can, or there's a law that won't allow you to do what they need. But I think just dealing with the people, and it's helped me to learn to be a listener. Helped me learn to be a listener, like I talked about a while ago, having the contacts, and learned that the way to get things done and the way to help people is to communicate with them. You have to communicate. You have to sit down and listen. I went to Little Rock the other day, and I was talking to some lobbyists, and I told them, I said, if you have something, if I'm representative and you have something, and it's not what's best for my people, I'm not going to vote for it. I'm not going to be able to help you, but don't get mad at me, because the next day or the next week we might need each other again, and we're still going to be friends and do what's best for the people. And and that's what we try to do. We try to keep my head on straight and help the people there in Lake City. And like I said, sometimes you can't, but most of the time you can help them and try to help take care of them. So, and that's what our job is. Me and the city council and city employees. That's our job.
All right, and we have enough Facebook shout out. Shout out to Andy Shatley. Appreciate you for checking in on our Facebook Live feed.
All right, so do you have any events coming up that people can actually meet you and greet you and ask questions directly?
Yeah, no, I do not have anything planned. We have on the push cards we've been putting out, my cell phone number's there. Okay. And my email address, and I tell people, I've got so many contacts. Text me if you want to talk, and I'll call you back. If you call me and don't leave a voicemail, I'll just think you're trying to sell me a cruise or give me another car warranty, But if they will text me, and I will answer questions and be willing to sit down and talk to them about any issue. Okay. And I'll sit down and listen to them. May not be able to help them, may not agree, and we may or may not agree. We may disagree, but we'll still be friends when it's over, I hope so.
Okay. And so, do you have any events though? After the primary, are you just trying to wait till after the primaries to see what's what, and then? Yeah,
we're just trying to finish the race hard, and after March 3rd, if we're in runoff, or if we're not, if you win, I prayed about it, and my mind's good with it, and the good Lord's told me it's all going to be okay, so we'll just move forward from there. Now, if you're in the primary, you're going to have some. In the runoff, you're going to have some more events or some stuff going on. Yeah, yes, ma'am, we will do that.
All right. Well, in the meantime, are you collecting information and research about your district and, of course, for Arkansas, so that, let's just say, whatever the choice is, you do not, win. Are you willing to then take those ideas, say, to whoever is going to be?
Oh yeah, because I'm still going to be mayor.
Okay.
So if I've told Bobby Long this a couple of times. We was talking. I said, well, when it's over, we all still got to be friends, because you're going to represent my people.
That's right.
That he'll be representative, and or Kopak will be representative. But we got to get along. Because my people's who I got to take care of. Well, he can help me take care of my people. So yeah, there won't be no hard feelings. It's all business. We just got to move forward. Either way, in a positive way, move forward.
That's right. The individuals, especially the ones that pay the taxes.
Exactly, because that's, like I said a while ago, that's who it's about. It's not about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to do it maybe where I can help them even more. But if I don't win, we're just going to rock on this like we have been. And I'll be the same John Milligan March 4th if I lose as I was March 3rd. So we'll just keep moving forward.
Alrighty.
And we're speaking to Mayor John Milligan, Republican candidate for Arkansas State Representative District 53. Once again, don't forget those polls are currently open for early voting. I don't know how the lines are looking now. I know they were a little bit long when I was there when they first opened, but again, they have plenty of machines, so they can definitely get you in and get you out in a short amount of time.
Yeah, and there at Lake City, the early voting, the county went in, they own the building just south of where the sheriff's department is. Mm-hmm. It's not in the courthouse. Mm-hmm. It's not where you have Corder and Garland's office with the deputy sheriff. It's where the hair loft used to be. Okay. They went in. They have made it really nice. It's a really nice building, but easy access to get in and out. But that's where it's at. It's not in the courthouse. It's 3 doors down.
Okay. All right, so hopefully, people have been able to find it successfully, and they're getting out to vote. And I want to say this: get your children involved in the discussions, or get everyone that is of voting age involved in the discussion. Let them know who's running for what, let them know why it's important to vote, because somebody's going to vote and the decision's going to be made. Why not let your voice be a part of that decision-making process?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, I agree. My daughter texted me early this morning that she's in for school. She said, I've already voted. She got up early and took care of that. So
Now, the ones that are away for college outside of Jonesboro, are they still registered here? Did they do absentee voting, or how are they going to handle that? Or do they register where they live?
well, I guess if they're still registered here, they can do absentee voting. And
Okay.
if they've changed it, they can't vote here. So,
Okay.
you know, I would think that's the way, I guess that's the way that works. So,
Okay. All right, I want to go back to talk about tax. Well, nobody likes to talk about taxes, but concerning the flooding issue and roads, we've talked about this with other candidates, that the money has to come from somewhere, and so have the residents of your area discuss ways to help the issue. I know you mentioned before, or no, someone else mentioned before about having the Corps of Engineers come, do research and really survey the area and see what can be done. Have you already had those studies done for your Lake City and other areas? We
have been meeting. This is my 10th year as mayor. We have met with the Corps of Engineers for the last 7, and they are doing their preliminary study. They've done the and we've got a map that they took back. They want us to look at this map, which took a lot of our area out of the flood zone. Okay. The city of Bay, Mayor Bay's worked really hard. He's got most of his was in, and he's got most of his out, a lot of his out. I don't know the percentage, but a lot. So we've been working on that ever just about since I've been mayor, getting with FEMA. Of course, the funding is an issue when they get the map to do the studies and the LUNAR studies, and so. But we have been working on that, and we've got some areas that was in that's going to be out. There's a few that they wanted to put in that I didn't agree with, so they wanted us, to look at it again and do the study again. So that is something there that we've been working on.
As you were talking, I was thinking, concerning Arkansas and how it is considered one of the poor states and low on the economic development side, depending on the county, city and county that you go in. If those areas are facing those issues, businesses are not going to want to come into that area, because they're going to feel, okay, what's the point of putting a multi-million-dollar business here if it's only going to flood and become damaged in a certain amount of time, and then, or the people we hire can't get to work due to XYZ issue. So is that something that's being discussed on a larger scale?
Yeah, well, and that's where the cities have to step up too, and you go back to issue 1 and the money. That's where you have to make sure your drainage is good. And you have to make sure that flooding don't happen. We've put in several tiles this last fall. I had Mr. Brickle come in, and the 2 main ditches that take all the water out of Lake City, and we had a 3-inch rain the other day, man, and it just went on just like it's supposed to. Okay. And that's where the city, you have to stay on that. If it's a big rain, but the guys, they get out in the middle of the night, make sure the tiles are not stopped up. We don't want the water to get in anybody's house. There's a whole lot of work goes into that, but yeah, the city has to. I know here in Jonesboro, Mayor Perrin, they've widened ditches and mowed ditches, and they've done a lot of work trying to, take care of a lot of that flooding themselves out here. I've seen them do the work. So, but it's a big wheel with a lot of spokes, and but the Corps looks at all that. The Corps looks at your ditches, and they do the study and see how and their studies, I'll say, well, that water flows, well, this is the level of the ground. Their study's a little different than what I see flow, but it's we all have to work together to draw them businesses where they'll want to come, where you don't have that issue. And it takes, of course, money to do that. So
yes, sir.
But if you can take that and keep it out of people's houses, well, then that saves them money too, where they've had issues before. And you have a few problem areas where where they're at. Well, if that happens, will you put up barricades, or you help them? And we've dug some extra ditches and put in tiles to help some areas, and it's really helped.
Okay. All right. So we hope that people are paying attention to the issues at hand. They have these conversations with you and other candidates who are running, so that we can hopefully get their needs met in a timely manner.
Exactly.
And it's important to keep these conversations going and to interact with people, because if you are elected, you will represent these people. So having these conversations is important to stay engaged with your constituencies.
Sir. Yes, sir. It is. It's very important. You have to talk to them, and you have to let them know what's going on. And you know, they're in town. If we're doing something, they ask me, well, I'll gladly tell them what's going on and why we're doing this and why we're doing that, because it's like I said, it's their money we're spending, you know, and it's mine also. But that's, like I said, it's why we try to keep prices down on everything, because I have to pay it too, you know.
Now, how are you getting your message out? Because obviously your campaign may not be as visible as some of the others, as far as you may not see as many of your signs around as you see from the other candidates. So how are you working to get your message out?
Just doing a lot of door-to-door, and I've got up several signs. I moved some this morning over to the annex where you was talking about. But word of mouth, and I've got a big family, and they're helping me. My family steps up and help, and go to a lot of events, go to ball games and different situations, and started back actually the 4th of July in Caraway when we started the motion. So just like I said, we're just going to try to finish hard and finish the race, and see what happens.
Let the people decide.
Let the people decide. That's right.
Alrighty. Let's see. We don't have any new Facebook shout-outs, but you can still leave your questions and your comments on our Facebook live feed, and you can also give us a call at 870-277-1080. I believe there's an event coming up for District 53 at the Chambers, there not?
Tomorrow, yep.
And will you be a part of that?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. I think it's 12 o'clock, 12 to 1.
So this will be your opportunity to go out and meet Mayor John and shake his hand and have a discussion with him, and see where he stands on the various issues that matter to you. Take every opportunity you can to meet the candidates. It's very important to vote on the local level and discuss that issue. We ask all the candidates to discuss this, why it's important to vote, especially on the local and state level.
You're asking? Oh, okay. Well, just like we've been saying, well, you want your voice heard, and if you've got the issues, you need to go talk to that candidate or send him a message and ask him what his thoughts are, and how he would handle that, and make up your own mind which candidate that you want to vote for, and just a lot of communication. You just need to ask them and talk to them, and like I said, you call them and send them an email or whatever. But it is very important for everybody to vote and know who you're voting for. Don't go into it blind. So
most definitely not.
Yeah.
No, we'll say this, for those people that say, well, I won't remember all the names. You are allowed to take a note, a piece of small piece of paper with you, a sticky note, whatever,
Right.
So you are allowed to look at the candidates beforehand and decide who you want to vote for, and then make a notation and take that into the booth with you. Just don't share it with anybody.
Right. Right. And then you can review it before you submit it. After your ballot, you can go back and double check it and make sure you've voted for the ones you want to vote for. So.
Okay. All right.
But no, it's very, very important to know who you're voting for and to pray about it and make the right decision. So.
And again, I just want to remind everyone, if you want to know what issues are being discussed or decided on for Arkansas, go to arcleg.org, and you can look up by bill, by the House, the Senate, or by the individual representative or senator. There's a process. So it lists, depending on what you're looking up, it lists all the motions that have been made, where it stands, if it's in recess, a vote on, whatever the case.
Yeah, it explains the bill from beginning to end. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, which legislator done what. It does. It's really informational. It does good. It has all the information about whatever bill that you're looking at. Yeah.
So I advise everyone, take some time, and if there's a particular area of interest, if it's environmental, if it's education, if it's taxes, whatever the issue is, healthcare, look and see what's being discussed in those different areas. I have a lot of ideas about a lot of things, but we need more people to advocate, and I don't want to use the word lobby, but advocate for different issues when it comes to those who feel they don't have a voice or just don't know how to get started with a conversation.
Right. And like I said, you have to, and as a representative, you be willing to sit down and listen and talk, and if you can help, you can help, and if you can't, you can't. But always willing to sit down and listen. And my wife might disagree with me, but I'm always willing to sit down and listen and some of the people I represent and hear them out. So.
Okay.
It's important to have these conversations and to hear people out. So that would also include maybe people who don't agree with you. So if you are elected, would you be willing to meet with groups who are known for positions that you don't necessarily agree with?
Oh yeah, that would, I mean, I wouldn't care to sit down and meet with them and talk to them and hear their side. They may, and
the reason why
something that I hadn't thought of, hadn't been told, you know, but no, and when it's all over, we'll still be friends, and we'll, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to not get along, but
I bring it up because Senator Cooper received criticism for meeting and taking a photo with the Moms Demand Action Group, which obviously they have much different views than several conservatives when it comes to matters of guns. But as an elected official, these people at the end of the day still are constituents, even if you don't necessarily agree with what they stand for.
Yeah, and they're still people. So,
shout out to Jeff Presley. Appreciate you for checking in on our Facebook Live feed. And again, those polls are open at the Craighead County Election Annex on Jefferson and the Lake City Courthouse on Highway 18. And they're going to be open all day long, all week long. So make sure that you stop by and vote for the candidates of your choice. Getting ready to go into our final break, but don't go anywhere. Back with more. This is Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
How's that personal plan coming? This is April for Focus on Women. Back in January, we talked about tossing out resolutions and instead developing a personal plan. So now let's check in to see how's it going. If you've taken steps towards implementing your plan, then you are on point. Keep it up. By now, I'm sure you've seen some of the fruits of that labor. However, if you are still struggling to get it together, no worries. That's why we're planning instead of a resolution. Resolutions tend to fade away around mid-January or so. But a plan, well, you can pick it right back up where you left off and continue down your journey. We all know that self-improvement is often a challenge. It forces us to face our bad habits, curb them, and replace them with better habits. And all this change requires self-discipline. Studies show that over time, students with self-discipline outperform students who may have higher IQs. It all goes back to the tortoise and the hare story. You know, the one where the rabbit and the turtle race? In the story, the rabbit has the ability of speed, but the tortoise has self-discipline. For all the rabbit's natural ability, his lack of discipline cost him the race. So to be successful at your plan requires self-discipline and determination. For Focus on Women, this is April. Be dynamic.
Focus on Women is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a non-profit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Hello, I'm Officer Jonathan Hagens of the Jonesboro Police Department. One of the best decisions I ever made was to join the Jonesboro Police Department. Since joining, I've had the pleasure to give back, protect, and serve my community. Now I want to let you know about that same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing for the patrol officers at the Valley View High School. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place. The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information, 870-935-5657.
Applications are being accepted. Applications are available at jonesboropolice.com. KLEK.com.
KLEK is starting a new fundraiser which will allow listeners to donate to KLEK while buying groceries. KLEK is a part of the Kroger Community Rewards fundraising program. When shoppers visit a participating Kroger and scan his or her Kroger Plus shoppers card, a portion of the savings goes back to KLEK to help keep it on the air. Details on how to sign up for the program are available at KrogerCommunityRewards.com and at KLEKFM.org. This is a KLEK fundraiser.
KLEK 102.5 FM salutes small businesses. Small businesses promote local character and success, keeping money in the local economy, local jobs, entrepreneurship, community well-being, and so much more. Contact us today to learn more on how your small business could be featured on KLEK for as little as $25 per month.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations with our guest, Mayor John Milligan. He is the mayor of Lake City, Arkansas, and is a Republican candidate for the Arkansas House of Representatives, District 53. And we appreciate everyone who has checked in on our Facebook Live feed. Got a shout out to Thomas Elwood, who says thanks for running and being involved. And of course, if you have a question or comment, you can leave it on our Facebook Live feed or give us a call at 870-277-1080.
All right, so in this last segment, are there any final thoughts you'd like to share? Any recaps? Let's recap some of the issues for those that may have missed in the beginning, and then any final thoughts you would like to share.
Well, just like I said earlier, I've really enjoyed, and I enjoy being mayor. And you know, it's like I said, my job's been easy with my council I have and the employees and the citizens I deal with. And as a representative, I just look forward because District 53, Northeast Arkansas, is full of the same people. It's a really good place to live, and I've out on the campaign trail. I've met some really nice people, and just look forward, if the good Lord sees fit, working with them, being able to work with them the same way, and hope I get that chance, and maybe we can keep moving it forward in a positive direction. And Dan's done a good job, Senator Cooper's done a good job, and like I said, at the end of the day, it's about the people. It's not about me, just a public servant. That's who it's about. We have to take care of the people.
Yes, sir. I know we talked about, several issues as far as taxes, the Bible in schools, stand your ground, Second Amendment. So if you would like to hear more about how Mr. John feels about those issues, reach out. I didn't ask before. Do you have a Facebook page or a website?
Well, I've got my email you can send me, and I've got a Facebook page.
Okay.
But it's not a campaign Facebook page.
Okay.
But you can still. I get about signs. You can still holler at. But my cell phone number is 870-219-1261. And I don't care to give that out. It's on my push cards. And
okay.
A couple of people work for me. So I can't believe it's on your business card. But if there's something going on in town, I want people to be able to get a hold of me, and we deal with it right then and move on.
Okay.
So I don't have that's why I have 1,900 something contacts in my phone, which is okay. That's part of my job. So.
All right, and we just want to remind people they can have the opportunity to meet you tomorrow at the Chamber of Commerce right here in Jonesboro.
Yep.
And we do plan to live stream that event.
Okay.
All right, so for those who can't make it for whatever reason, you will be able to still watch the recap of that event.
Right.
I
look forward to it.
If you do have the opportunity, go in person. It's something different about being there in person and getting to interact with the different candidates.
Right.
And hear what they have to say about the different issues.
Right.
All right. So any final thoughts?
Or
shout outs.
Yeah, no, well, just like y'all have hit on, hit on every time. Get out and vote. Know your candidate. Holler at me if you want to talk. And but everybody needs to get out and vote and let their voice be heard. And whatever happens. We'll if we win or get in a runoff, we'll move on. If not, like I said, I'll be the same guy the 4th as I was the 3rd, and we'll just keep moving forward. So, try to stay positive and keep moving on.
All right.
And of course, we definitely want to thank you for stopping by the studio today.
Well, I want to thank y'all for inviting me, and it took so long. I guess I missed I think you said you called, but either way, we got it done, and I do appreciate y'all, and I appreciate the work y'all do with getting the candidates in here and getting it out there, their thoughts, and encouraging the people to go vote and meet the candidates, because a lot of people probably don't hear that. So.
And of course, if you want to see all of the candidate interviews in one place, you can go on our website, klekfm.org. You can click on media, click on videos, and then it has a link to our YouTube channel. Has all the videos laid out nice and neat. You can just go through and watch each and every one of them for state representative judges. We interviewed the Republicans and the Democrats, and also all of the candidates running for the various judicial positions, including the state Supreme Court. We even had those interviews as well. So check them all out, and then make your voice known and exercise your right to vote.
I do want to make this notation for the judicial races. How you vote now is what's going to determine who's going to be in that position, unless off chance there's a runoff. So otherwise, who you vote for now by March 3rd will be the person that will be taking over that judge's spot.
Yeah, and those are very important positions also.
Yes.
Very important.
Because
every position is important.
Yeah, it is. Every one of them.
I know a lot of people maybe focus on the national level, but we definitely need to stay focused on our local and state levels as well, because those decisions that are made affect us more directly and immediately than the national level.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, can't stress this enough. Get out and vote. Those polls are open now. Of course, you can go on our Facebook. I actually kind of gave a little quick blog. I said blob. I didn't have my coffee this morning. On just the voting process, it's really easy. You go in, they give you your ID. Of course, if you don't have an ID, you can request a provisional ballot. They give you your ballot. You go in, you cast your vote, and you walk out. There's plenty of machines in there, so don't worry about lines. Don't get intimidated if you see a line outside. They will get you in and get you out, and so you'll be able to get back to work or go on about your day and do what you need to do. But you can walk away knowing that you are helping to make a difference, and you are helping to make your vote count. And of course, they give you one of these great stickers. They actually gave me two of them, so I got two I voted stickers. Of course, KLK and the voice for Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. We do not endorse, support, nor oppose any candidate for office, nor was any compensation provided for this interview. This interview was provided for informational purposes only. We would not tell you who to vote for, but again, we're going to tell you who to vote. So, one more minute. Any final thoughts?
No, sir. I'm good. I just appreciate y'all letting me come.
All right. Well, we definitely wish you, as well as all of the other candidates, the best of luck. But don't go anywhere. We've got great music all day long. And, of course, on Election Day itself, we will have coverage from live at the election annex. So you'll be there right with me on election night to find out who actually won these races. So, anyway, we've been on the air for 2 hours, and I'm going to go ahead and jump up off of here. I'm going to let you all enjoy the rest of this beat for the next 40 seconds and enjoy the rest of the music. You guys have a great and blessed day. This is Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
Broadcasting from the First National Bank Tower, this is KLEK-LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council.
Jonesboro's community radio station. Your life, your music. KLEK 102.5 FM.
Good Tuesday morning, Jonesboro. This is meteorologist Tim Root with your KLEK